What up, though? Good evening and welcome to another episode of Notoriously Opinionated. It's your man of many words, many names, many letters, many monikers. This is going to be a quick show. Tell you that right now. So I'll call this a stream of thought show for a certain particular reason. Um, I'm pretty much just gonna talk about whatever comes to my damn mind, and that's pretty much it. But I'm gonna try to curtail it, because at this particular moment, I don't have a lot of mental bandwidth. You know, like my bandwidth is kind of low right now. I ain't, I you know, I ain't got a whole lot of mental bandwidth to be messing around, but I got enough to be entertaining for a half hour, maybe. All right. So hold up. Pause for the cause. So here's what we're gonna do. Um, First off, uh, one of the things that's really kind of been bothering me, I'm gonna say last, um, since last Saturday, right? It's nothing new. Like when I come across disrespectful young people, that tends to bother me. Um, I came across some disrespectful young people that got upset about losing a game. Right? It happens. I remember being young and being really, really. Yeah, I'm competitive now. Uh, But I remember being young and really competitive and not knowing how to maintain or manage my emotions when I lost, because who likes losing? Um, no matter how many times your coach tells you, you're not going to win every game, you still don't want to lose. And it still hurts when you do. The only difference is the older that you get, the more mature that you get, the better you can deal with not winning, not necessarily losing, but just not winning, and the better sport you can be. That was one of the things that I learned in sports, was how to be a good sport. Like, that's how you know you got a good coach. When you got a good coach, your coach is going to coach you up into being a good sport, right? While teaching you how to be a good player, while teaching you the skills that you need to know to be good at this craft, at this sport. He's gonna teach you, hey, you gotta be able to not win gracefully. I don't like using the word lose. I really don't, because and those of you who have been watching my show and that, or even that know the reason that I don't like to use the word lose is because I believe that you can only lose if you didn't learn the lesson as to why you didn't win. So if you didn't win and you learn nothing, like, let's say football. Let's take football for example. If you lost because they kept sending a zero blitz at you and you didn't hurry up and get rid of the ball and your quarterback just got sacked the whole game, that's your fault. That you didn't see that the defense is coming on a blitz every single time, and your quarterback don't have no time, and your quarterback is scary anyway, and so he ain't had no time to throw the ball. He didn't have no time to find an open receiver, because as soon as the ball is snapped to him, here comes the defenders. So if this is what's going on with you, and then come the next game, right? Do it really take a whole game for you to figure that out? Okay, so come the second half. So you got rushed. It is like 28-0 at halftime. It's the second half. And they got 21 of these 28 points off of turnovers because they done hit your quarterback. He's spooked now. He done threw 2 interceptions, got a fumble, and they scored every time, right? Second half comes. You do the exact same thing and change nothing. Yeah, you lost. You lost because you didn't learn the lesson. You didn't see that they keep sending the zero blitz and they sending everybody. You're not seeing it. And you keep doing the same thing over and over again. That's insanity by definition, So, yeah. So I personally don't believe in losing because I'm a lifelong learner. I learned from my own dumbass mistakes. So, I've made a lot of them, and since I'm not everlasting enough to make all of the mistakes, I tend to learn from the mistakes of others. Like I don't need to jump off of the Empire State Building and crash horribly to my death to know that shit might not be for me. I can just go back to 1929 and the Great Depression when all the white folk was hurling themselves off because they lost all their money. All I gotta do is watch that. I learned everything I need to know. That did not look fun. I don't need to do it for myself to know that did not look fun. That looked painful. Is how that looked. Cause they showed that did not look. I don't need to experience that. Not firsthand. I'll take. I don't need to. I'm good. I can see it and be like, nope. I don't need to get shot to be like, that looked like it hurt. Nope. I don't need to. I've already had enough tragedy in my life. I can tell you about a whole lot of it. But I learn from other people's mistakes. Just like I expect other people to learn from mine. Please learn from my mistakes. I say all that to say this. Now, I was upset when they waved over my little dudes, but you're supposed to respect adults. No, you're not. This is not going to be a very liked, notorious opinion of mine, but I don't particularly care if you agree with me. Here's the thing about it. I was never a proponent of somebody telling me I'm supposed to respect all adults. All of them? So all adults are good. Respect the pedophiles. Respect the rapists. All adults are good. Respect adults just because I don't believe in just because you older than me that I'm supposed to listen to you. Because I know some old ass, dumb ass fools, and I know some 19-year-olds that's sharp as a Gillette. I'm trying to tell you. I know youngsters that's sharp as a Gillette. And I know some 60-year-olds that's dull as a 50-year-old spoon, So I was never a proponent of respecting everybody. Respecting all adults. But if you showed me that you deserved respect, then I respected you immensely. Right? These what are they called? These Gen Alpha kids? These what are they? Gen Alpha, Gen Z, these the end of the alphabet ass kids, they don't respect nothing. They disrespectful. I'm Gen X. I'm close to the end of the alphabet, but then they did some weird stuff in the middle of Gen X and going back to the beginning, Alpha, going back to Alpha, they did some reconstruction. And so I was a latchkey kid. I was a go get your own Switch kid. I was No, that switch is too little. Go out and get 3 of them and tie them joints together, kid. I was that kid. Boom. That's exactly what I'm talking about, daughter. In order to get respect, you must give it. You must first be deserving of respect for me to even be in your presence long enough to see if you're giving it, But if you're not respectful, if you're not giving the respect, why am I going? And depending on your perspective, I took that into adulthood. I'm like that to this day. I'm like, if you don't, now the only difference, even when I was a kid, is I did not disrespect people just because I did not respect you. Therein lies the difference. There's a difference between not respecting someone and disrespecting someone. I did not disrespect people. I don't disrespect people now. I'm just not going to respect you. Not having respect for you and disrespecting you is 2 different things, right? So these are some of the things that I was trying to tell these little dudes, and they waved over me. I'm the coach of the team, and they wave over me. And I'm like, my first impulse, Gen X to the heart, is to grab, snatch the, that's my first impulse. Snatch your little butt up, This is a new era. You can't be snatching kids up like that. I don't know where all this crap was when I was a kid, because when I was a kid, I got snatched up by whoever was close, all the way up my block. Snatched up when I walked past. Like, I'm glad I was fast, because I'm, hightailing it. But then, see, being fast don't even count, because they can call your name and you better go back. That's Gen X. Believe it. You better run past Miss Rose's house and she call you and you don't go back. When you get home, she done already got on that. Well, it was rotary dial back then, and so it might have took a minute. Don't let that number in it. Don't have a bunch of 8s in it. It's gonna take a minute. If it's a bunch of 8s and 7s and 9s and crap, it's gonna take a minute. So you might get home before she was actually able to dial the number and actually talk to somebody. But when she did get a hold of your mama, when she did get a hold of your grandma, they gonna get a hold of you. And so you better go back. These kids nowadays don't care. I said, if your real coach, talking to the other team, if your real coach was here and he saw you acting the way that you do, or the way that you are right now, he'd be disappointed in you, wouldn't he? Little dude said, nope. He do the same thing. I said, oh, there it is right there. Therein lies the reason. Your role models is bad role models. And so the moral of this intro is, it ain't all the kids' fault. Some of it is the fault of the people that they call themselves looking up to. So I got some other things I want to talk about, but that's to open it up. Let's go. All right, so check it. On to this. All right, so I don't think I talked about this last week, but I just remember talking about it so much to so many different people. If I didn't talk about it, I'm gonna talk about it now, and if I did talk about it, I'm gonna talk about it again. Because there's a thing to this, and I don't think I talked about it to this degree, but we're gonna rap about it. All right, so there's a little brother. This story's been in the news probably about 3 or 4 weeks now. I just got hip to it about a week ago. But there's a little brother from Chicago, Illinois. His name is Javion McGee. He's a truck driver, like I said, from Chicago. Apparently, he was going through North Carolina, right, and wound up hung from a tree with the rope tied around his neck 11 times. The family is searching for justice. Now, far be it for me to try to play Columbo, because that ain't my lane. But based off of the evidence, and I'm going kind of off of how the family's attorneys are responding as well. So the family attorneys are saying it's too early in the investigation to tell what happened to Javion. Is it? Now it may be some stuff that I'm not aware of, right? It may be some stuff that hasn't come out in the news, because all I'm privy to is what comes out in the news and what you can read and things like that. So I'm not basing my notorious opinion as fact. It's speculative. It's my opinion, but it's my opinion based on the evidence, right? And what I've read and what I've heard is this. And I'm gonna tell you what it was saying in the comments too. It was saying that the police did an initial, the police's initial investigation came out and said that the little brother went to Walmart, bought a rope, and went in the woods and hung himself. The family doesn't believe that. No, he didn't have mental health issues. He wouldn't do that to himself. Okay. So the family is saying he was a mentally healthy young man, and that he wouldn't do that. But let the record reflect. So in the comments, it's saying, well, just go and get the footage from Walmart. Ask and ye shall receive. That's exactly what they did. They went to Walmart, and I'm sorry, the Walmart. I don't know why they call it the Walmart. And by they I mean you white folk. The Walmart. They went to the Walmart and they got the footage. And it shows a little brother coming up, and he bought a bundle of was blue rope, and he left. And he gave over $200 to a homeless person, and said, by the homeless person's account, I wish I had more to give you, but this is all that I have. Then they have footage of him going into the woods with the rope. Then there's footage of him coming out of the woods without the rope. Then he goes back into the woods and is never heard from again. To me, in my notorious opinion, it sounds like that little brother killed himself. It sounds like that little brother didn't want to be here no more. That's what it sounds like. Because there's always the chance that there was some North Carolina Keebler that was waiting on him in the woods and wanted to do something ill to the little brother. But if you went to the woods with a rope by a tree and ran into some racist killer that decided that he was gonna kill you, he just did you a favor because you was about to do it yourself, you know? So, like, maybe it's me, you know, maybe it's me, but this happens all the time in the black community, right? People either not wanting or not knowing that their people are going through it. They are going through it. They're going through it. And so, and especially you talking about black men, we don't always talk about it. We don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't at times remember in the forefront of our minds that this cape that we got on, it says on the inside of the lining, this cape does not allow you to fly. You know, it says when we put on the uniform, this S does not block bullets. You know, we gotta sometimes remember that that Superman, this fool actually got superpowers. He really do got it. He faking like he Clark Kent. Like he ain't got no powers, like he weak, you know. He got fake to do that, you know. We ain't got no powers. This cape don't allow us to fly. This S on our chest don't dodge, don't block bullets. You know, we don't run at the speed of sound. You know, we ain't got all that. We ain't got the superpowers. So we gotta remember that sometimes, but we don't. And when people ask us how we doing, we like, we cool. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. No, we not. A lot. We're not. But a lot of us just don't talk about it. Because why? You know, like, I know I used to didn't talk about it. I didn't talk about it when I wasn't okay. And why didn't I talk about it? It's like, who the hell I'm gonna talk about it to? Like, when you're used to being there for everybody, and you're not used to anybody being there for you, right? When something is wrong with you, who the fuck am I gonna get? I'm already here. Like, who am I gonna get? Me? Like, it don't matter. Like, so that's why people like me don't say something a lot of times, because it's like, what good is it gonna do for me to go get somebody? Who am I gonna get? Like, hey, bro, are you good? You know, I'm talking to my doggone self. But the McGee family may not have wanted to believe that there was something wrong with this little brother because he didn't say nothing to anybody, right? But it was clearly something wrong with. Why would the little brother go buy a rope and go into the woods, like, and give away the last piece of money that he had? Why would he do that? Right? Only to have his people go out and be like, well, it's too early in the investigation. It's too early in it. What more is there? Was there some muddy footprints in the woods that have yet to be disclosed? Like, what else is there to talk about? Yes, sir. Yeah, and again, it's like the mothers of, say, gang members, right? If your baby is, to your knowledge, this is to your knowledge. This ain't for the mamas that don't know what their kids is doing. This ain't for them. And I just don't believe there's a whole lot of them mamas. But this ain't for them mamas. This is for the mamas that know exactly what your baby is doing. You know, your 17-year-old baby is out there killing people mercilessly. And then When they find his body riddled with bullets in the middle of the street, here you come running in the middle of the street, my poor baby, he ain't never did nothing to nobody. What? Look, we at some point, we got to keep it 100. At some point. And if you don't want to do it, I will. At some point, we got to keep it 100. Your baby ain't did nothing to nobody. Your baby got bodies. What do you mean your baby ain't did nothing to nobody? He did too. And then he got it done to him. So all this boo-hooing and crying and whatnot, I understand you sad because your child is gone, but you know what I'm saying? Your child was a hitman. Enough said. So it's the same thing when it comes to mental health. You know, if you got a family member that is not mentally well, you got to understand this. To my best understanding, clearly I don't know what it is or what it's like because I'm still here, but you know, I don't. From what I've researched psychologically, people don't take their life because they don't want to live. From the research, that's not why people take their lives. People commit suicide because they don't like the life that they're living. They don't like the life that they're living. It's not that they don't want to live. They just don't like the life that they are currently living. And the life that they are currently living is too much for them. And they don't know another way out. That is the definition of a problem. For those of you first-time listeners, appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. But if you've seen my show before, I've said this a couple of times. This is my definition of a problem. A problem is when there's a discrepancy between where you are and where you want to be. And you don't know how to get from one place to the other. That is a problem. You're here. You want to get here. There is no bridge. It's nothing but water. You don't know how to get from here to here. So you're trying to solve the problem. If your family member is having a problem and they don't know how to get from unwell to well, moving on. This is one of the few things I'm gonna say about Diddy, other than the fact that I still just think that it is hilarious to ponder the fact that if he gets in like the prison talent shows and whatnot, I just think that's hilarious. But I didn't know who this fool daddy was. I just found out there's people that knew. I wasn't one of them. I just found out a couple of days ago who Diddy Daddy was. Diddy Daddy was Melvin Combs. Let's do the history. All right. So in New York, Bumpy Johnson was a notorious gangster in New York. They've made TV shows about Bumpy Johnson. They made movies about Bumpy Johnson. And then Bumpy Johnson's driver was Frank Lucas. Frank Lucas was the driver for Bumpy Johnson. And so Bumpy Johnson gave all of his knowledge and all of his game to Frank Lucas. Frank Lucas bubbled, right? And exceeded what Bumpy Johnson had, right? Well, Frank Lucas's driver was Melvin Combs. Do you see where I'm going with this? You did? Like, Melvin Combs had a 2-month-old son named Sean Combs. Sean Combs is the son of Melvin Combs, who was the driver for Frank Lucas, who was the driver for Bumpy Johnson. Trip on that. I did. Now, there was people trying to use the fact that Melvin Combs, coming from the lineage that he came from, gives some sort of pass to Diddy for doing what he did, right? But it's been said this fool working for the feds and all kind of stuff, you know. He better hope that some of the people that he got on them tapes better not be able to pay somebody enough to get him, because he's in a place to where, boy, he's in a place to where a couple of $100 stretch out on the streets are here to cost you some thou wows, but in the joint cost you some little Debbies. You liable to come up missing, you know. So it's gonna be a long road for that little brother, you know. But it's a trip as to who his daddy was. I just peeped that out. I mean, I just found that out. I did not know who this brother daddy was. But what happens when you understand the game? You know what I'm saying? Like Diddy understood the game. Like, he would call Frank Lucas Uncle Frank, you know, because he understood where his daddy got everything from. So it's like, but why? Now, of course, I don't know if this man was working for the feds. I know that when they found them 1,000 bottles of baby oil, what they found inside of them, I know that. They released that. You know, all the rest of this crap is speculative, but I know that they had that date rape drug inside of them baby oil bottles. Y'all thinking that he just lubing up everybody doing some freaky stuff? Well, I'm not saying that he wasn't, but what I'm saying is that there was a chemical agent in there that caused narcolepsy. If you don't know what narcolepsy is, it means that it just induces you to go to hell to sleep. At the drop of a dime, it's like you'll be in the middle of and be knocked out, and then wake up a few minutes later and don't even know that you've been asleep. I'm telling you that they it's like somebody just hit you with a snooze button. And you just night. You dig? That's what rubbing they rub you down. They rub you down with that baby oil if you want to, and you just get drowsy. like you done took a sleeping aid because you did. He done rubbed it. It ain't because you just soothed from the massage. No, that done got into your pores, into your skin. That's the quickest way for things to enter into your system, is to get into your pores. Shoot. Smoking it, ingesting it, all that different crap, let it get in your pores. It's gonna get in your system fast. He oiling everybody down and making them drowsy. So again, there was people trying to use like the background that he comes from as to why, because they was like, this dude was dealing with some, I don't know if it was Colombians or Mexicans that had tunnels all under his, you know what I'm saying? He owned some El Chapo type stuff, you know. That may be the lineage, you know what I'm saying? Like, Frank Lucas bubbled bigger than what Bumpy Johnson was. Diddy was a billionaire, and it wasn't all because of take that. It wasn't all because of that. It wasn't all because of the music, you know. he very well could have been, speculatively speaking, he could have been washing all of the dirty money with the music money. You never know, So, but one thing for certain, two things for sure, man is made and unmade by himself. That man made himself and he unmade himself. They say the difference between him and some other notable figures that are in some of them videos that got a whole lot of money is the fact that they just more discreet. Diddy was flamboyant with it and just didn't care. Boy, but if he goes up against R. Kelly in one of these prison talent shows, I wonder who gonna win. I wonder who gonna win between Diddy and R. Kelly because they said they was in the same. I gotta look to see if they in the same facility. Matter of fact, let's look it up now. I'm curious. I need to know. Or is R. Kelly and Diddy in the same facility? Wow. Yes, Sean Diddy Combs and R. Kelly are both currently being held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, New York. Man, if they have a talent show, it's gonna be dope. Man, hey, what if they do a versus? What if they do a versus in the detention center? Oh my goodness. Oh. And then R. Kelly do a medley of Trapped in the Closet and 12 Play. Diddy can't mess with that. Diddy done. If R. Kelly do 12 Play, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. All he gotta do is just do 12 Play. It's a wrap. What if they let Public Announcement come in there? Oh, it's a wrap for real. It's a wrap for real. But if they let Mace come in there, if they let Mace in there, Mace gonna slap the hell. They let Mace in there, they gonna be fighting. They ain't even gotta pay him. He gonna go in. He gonna go in swinging anyway. If they let Mason shine in there, it's a wrap. They gonna beat Diddy up. What else is on my mind to talk about? What else? Let me see. I developed a tad bit more bandwidth than I thought I had. I don't know where it came from. It just happened. You know what? We about to do some grab bag here in a second. That's what we about to do. I do got some topics that I could have talked about for an hour. I don't feel like it. I ain't with it right now. I did have a joke that I was going to tell, but okay. What is your favorite season and why? Right now, fall is my favorite season. There's a variety of reasons why I like fall. Summer too damn hot, winter too damn cold, spring too damn rainy. In the fall, it is between 60, 65 and 78 degrees. That's like perfect weather. You can wear your clothes and be comfortable, and all the light jackets that you be wanting to wear, you can wear those, but you can wear a slightly heavier jacket that's dope and not be too hot. You can just gear up in the fall. You can't gear up in the summer. You trying to stay cool. You ain't even trying to look good. You trying to stay cool. But in the fall, you can wear all your stuff, and accessorize. Like it's almost Scully season. Like when it gets a tad bit cooler, trading these in for Scullies. You gonna see me in my Royal Scully and my Chief Scully. I'm still wearing my caps though. Another reason, it's football season. You talking about the the start of the MLB playoffs and or the start of the MLB playoffs, and then the start of football season comes in fall. What the hell happens other than the Summer Olympics that happen every 4 years? What else happening in the summertime? You know, so it's a lot of stuff that's happening that happens in the fall. What? Find something to do. Unless you're gonna make a cameo. So those are some of the things that I like about fall, and that's why fall is my favorite season. Hey, up here, come on. Oh, so you did want to make a cameo. Come here. Look. Boy, I'm busy. Good boy, lay down. All right. We're going to do this one and one more and call it good. No. What is this? I don't pick nothing big because I know I already did it. I picked something little. A would you rather question? Really? Would you rather be really hairy or totally bald? Totally bald. Yeah, it ain't even no. Let's not even play with that. Totally bald. Yeah, I'm already an eighth of the way there. So that ain't even. That's a no-brainer. Why would I want to be hairy? Like, nah, I'm good. Why would I want to be hairy? Like, no. Look like a puppy? I'm good. All right. I'm pretty sure I ain't picked this one. All right. Boy, get over there. That wasn't nothing. Ain't nothing in that bag for you. What's something that you have in common with other people close to you? Hell, I don't know. It depends on the person. So I think that was a question made more for panelists. Let's try that one more time. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received? The best piece of advice I've ever received. I don't know about the best piece of advice I've ever received. I'm going to tell you what the best piece of advice I've ever received that I can think of right now on the spur of the moment. So the best piece of advice I can think of right now is try to be kind to everybody, because you don't know what kind of day people have been going through. You know what I'm saying? Like what somebody is going through, and you being kind to them. Let's say they having a terrible day. Let's say that they on their way to the woods with a rope, and then they come across you and you're kind to them, right? You're not a jerk. You're not a jackass like other people who have been to them, and it hasn't stacked up like all those things that break camels' backs, right? And you're kind to them, and this one act of kindness causes them to change their mind. And if you change your mind, you can change your life, right? So be kind, because you just never know what people are going through. And so with that, I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Shout out to, let me see, who are my shout outs? Shout out to my guy Johnny Waller. Shout out to my guy E. Shout out to Miss No Mills and Kansas City Hip Hop Week. Shout out to my guy Kasha. Shout out to all my guys in the joint. My Kimura, Green Eyes. See, I shouldn't have started that, because I guarantee you I would miss a gang of people. Just shout out to all my second chance citizens. How about we do that? And shout out to the ones that have not yet obtained their liberty. I don't call it freedom, because it's not, but who have not yet obtained their liberty. Who else? Shout out to my guy 3MAKC. Always grind 27-9. And shout out to everybody in the community in Kansas City, Missouri, and everywhere around this nation that's trying to make a difference in their community. Trying to make a difference for young people and just trying to make a difference, period. So with that, I appreciate all the viewers that tune in every week to Notoriously Opinionated. And to those of y'all that tune in, maybe this was your first time tuning in, I hope you liked what you saw. Like, share, and subscribe. Notoriously Opinionated on YouTube. Check me out every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Same Notorious time, same Notorious station. Until next Wednesday, I'm out. Peace.